Well, it's finally happened. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, according to a draft majority opinion leaked to Politico. Now, this decision likely won't come down till the summer, but it is real, and there has to be a majority on board, which is why this apparently was important enough for someone there to leak to the press. So in this video, I will get to what this means, what public opinion says, how President Biden has reacted, and if there is a plan to do something about this. Also, what needs to be done, and why conservatives are also angry. All right, first up, this is how this will impact the country. So if the U.S. Supreme Court overturns or guts Roe v. Wade, 26 states are certain or likely to ban abortion. Of course, red states. So this will impact the poor and the middle class the most. Unsafe abortions will increase, and a lot more women will die. These are just facts. So that is the likely direct impact of this once this decision comes down. The public view on abortion is very clear. A majority support a woman's right to choose. So from Pew Research here, public views of abortion, 95 to 2021. Percentage who say abortion should be legal in all/most cases. You see right now it's at 59% in support of that. 38 or 39% saying it should be illegal in all/most cases. Another poll here, this is from ABC News, Washington Post. Should the Supreme Court uphold or overturn Roe v. Wade? 60% say uphold. State legislation making it harder for clinics to operate, 58% oppose. And decision whether a woman can have an abortion should be 75% left to the woman and her doctor. So there you go. It's very clear. It's always been clear. Consistently, the majority of people are in support of abortion rights. But conservatives want forced abortion. A minority of people want forced abortion. And because they hold the Supreme Court, they're going to be able to get it through. Now, before I even say anything else, and the other impact that this may have, think of it this way. Even if you are in support of, or if you believe that life begins at conception, do you think that you should be forced to give blood to save someone else's life? Should you be forced to give your kidney up to save somebody else? That isn't law. You're not forced to do that. So why should you be forced to give your entire body up for 9 months, altering your life forever? But you're not forced to give blood. You're not forced to give a kidney. You're not forced to give your organ to save somebody else. But you're forced to give your entire body up for 9 months and have your entire life changed. Even if you support, or even if you believe life begins at conception, this idea of forced birth is completely insane. Now, the impact of this isn't just on abortion rights, but potentially on other issues of privacy. So, as Mark Joseph Stern writes here, Alito's draft opinion explicitly criticizes Lawrence v. Texas, legalizing sodomy, and Obergefell v. Hodges, legalizing same-sex marriage. He says that, like abortion, these decisions protect phony rights that are not deeply rooted in history. So, Biden came out with some comments about this that goes to discussing this issue.
So it goes far beyond, in my view, if it becomes a law and if what is written is what remains. It goes far beyond the concern of whether or not there is the right to choose. It goes to other basic rights, the right to marry, the right to determine a whole range of things. Because one of the issues that this court, many of the members of the court, a number of the members of the court, have not acknowledged is that there is a right to privacy in our Constitution. I strongly believe there is. I think the decision in Griswold was correct overruling. I think the decision in Roe was correct because there's a right to privacy. There can be limitations on it, but it cannot be denied. Does this mean that in Florida they can decide they're going to pass a law saying that same-sex marriage is not permissible? It's against the law in Florida? So there's it's a fundamental shift in American jurisprudence.
So President Biden is right to raise this issue. Conservatives that pretend to care about big government, They want to be in your bedroom knowing exactly what you're doing, and they want to be able to control everything you do, how you live your life, who you love, what you choose to do. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, they want to be able to control your life while claiming they're against big government. It's ridiculous. So, of course, I'm sure Joe Biden has a great plan to deal with this. I mean, back in 2019, he wrote, "As president, I will codify Roe into federal law and ensure this choice remains between a woman and her doctor." Awesome. So what's the update on that? There's nothing. So Obama also promised this back in 2007. He said, "I will continue to defend this right by passing the Freedom of Choice Act as president," which essentially would codify abortion rights into law. Also, didn't do anything about it. President Biden's statement today on this basically, warns about how this is terrible and all that, but then doesn't say how he's going to fight it. Just says, "Oh, people should go and vote in November." You have the White House. Democrats have Congress. Now, I know you don't have 60 votes to codify abortion rights into law, but you can eliminate the filibuster with some pressure on those that are against it, and then do that. But there's not even a mention of that. Not even an attempt to try. Complete failures. To that point, Natalie Scher here tweets out, "If your theory of change hinges on scolding tens of millions of individual voters for not choosing correctly in 2016, your analysis couldn't be more useless. It's the turn off lights to prevent climate change of political takes, and anyone still defaulting to it is a joke." This idea that you can blame the voters, it's the voters' fault. It's not going to change anything. Even if you think that, how is that supposed to change? How do you get people out to vote? By blaming them for not voting? By getting angry at them? Or by maybe delivering for them when you're in power? Showing you can do something. Even without the votes needed in Congress, Biden, through executive order, can do a lot. Maybe not on abortion rights, but he can cancel student debt. He can remove cannabis from a Schedule I drug. He can do things that will actually impact people's lives now, and he is not doing it. How can you expect people to come out to vote when you are in power and you are doing nothing with that power? Look at how differently Republicans act when they're in power. They'll do all the terrible things they can possibly do, even ones that are going to be challenged. They will try and do and accomplish what they want to accomplish. Democrats won't even move on voting rights, on abortion rights. They will sit there and complain that they don't have enough people to pass what they want to pass. Yet they do, and they aren't willing to fight the members that are fighting against them to pass their agenda. They aren't willing to fight those members like Manchin, like Sinema. Biden has only been kind to those idiots. And with his power, his own power, he is doing nothing. Waleed Shahid here, tweeting out, "As Democratic Party leadership condemns the SCOTUS ruling, a reminder that Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, and Jim Clyburn are all endorsing anti-choice Henry Cuellar in his primary against Jessica Cisneros in Texas' 28th district. Clyburn is doing a campaign rally in San Antonio with Cuellar tomorrow." Just vote. Just vote, and they will support an anti-choice Democrat over a pro-choice Democrat. You can't tell people to vote when policy positions mean nothing to these people. Bernie Sanders, with what needs to be done, tweeting out, "Congress must pass legislation that codifies Roe v. Wade as the law of the land in this country now. And if there aren't 60 votes in the Senate to do it, and there are not, we must end the filibuster to pass it with 50 votes. That's it. That's what needs to be done. Biden not even trying to fight, to get Schumer to eliminate filibuster, not even attempting to do this. Democratic leadership is just a complete joke. Eli Mistal here, tweeting out, "So the first lawsuit I'd like to see is from a Jewish woman who has access to an abortion provider denied in a Christian theocracy state. Sue that the Christian rules inhibit her religious freedom under the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment. So Eli Mistal, legal scholar here, here's another angle. Try this. Maybe they'll, be an example of this. We'll see how that goes. But, there are actual people out there like Eli Mistal, like Bernie Sanders, that know what needs to be done, that know how to challenge this. And idiots are saying, oh, just vote more. The people that need to come out to vote, the ones that don't normally vote, are not on Twitter and are going to be swayed by you telling them to vote. You have to actually deliver and do something. Now, the conservative reaction to this is hilarious. Do they care that the rights of millions is about to be taken away? No, of course they don't care. They care about the leak. That somebody leaked this. That's what they're freaking out about. Ben Shapiro here saying there is little question that this leak is designed to create threat to the life and limb of any justice who signs on to the majority opinion, prosecution to the full extent of the law. They don't care that more women will die. That's the impact of this. More women will die. That is a fact. Ben Shapiro cares about prosecuting whoever leaked this information. Real free speech warrior here. Megyn Kelly tweeting out the pathetic spineless leak of a draft SCOTUS opinion has the feel of something a sad little woke 20-something-year-old would do. The kind of person who thinks their personal agenda is more important. Whoever did it should lose their law license. This is going to impact millions of lives. Kill more women. Megyn Kelly has to invent a woke 20-something-year-old to get angry about. That's what pisses her off. An imaginary 20-something woke person, as opposed to the actual impact of what is about to happen. These conservatives are ridiculous people. Absolute clowns. Wendy Rogers here. Here's the last idiot. Arrest the leaker and give him, her, XE, the traitor treatment. Okay. David Dane here in response to this conservative bullshit, saying Republican politicians are having a hissy fit about the leak because they correctly assume that the media values decorum and norms enough to completely overshadow the real world consequences. And that is true. That's what morons like this, Jeffrey Toobin, of course, also talking about. The media are morons. Let's be clear. They're morons and also in on the bullshit. So it's a combination of the two. Sometimes it's hard to tell who's who, but regardless, the idea that there is any discussion at all about the leak, who cares about the leak? How is this going to actually impact society? That's what matters here. But they're spending time talking about the importance of this leak. Give me a fucking break. Last tweet here. Ilhan Omar. So the Republican Party supports forcing women to give birth against their will, but opposes providing childcare, paid leave, or health care. Got it. An obvious point, but has to be made, that Republicans, of course, are the reason for all of this. Conservatives wanting to control other people. That is why this is happening. Absolutely devastating. Yet there is a way to fight it. Democratic leadership has to step up. They're not going to, but they have to. The only way to fight this is to codify abortion rights into law. And you do that by eliminating the filibuster, get 50 votes, pass that. That's how you stop this. You have the White House. You have Congress. You can get it done. Democratic leadership can get it done. But instead, you're going to see, come out and vote like they did back in 2020.